What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Welcome back into JC's Pop Culture, where you can see all kinds of pop culture content with me, JC. And October Horror Onslaught Month continues. Like I said, going to go through some of my favorite movies from the Halloween franchise, do commentaries for them. And my next favorite Halloween movie in the franchise would probably be Halloween 4. You know, if we're going in order, I prefer it to 2 and 3. I do like both 2 and 3, and I'm going to hopefully do the whole entire franchise at some point here on the channel, fill in the spots in the series that I don't get to here in this October Horror Onslaught Month. But got to go to Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. Wearing my Halloween 4 shirt, as you can see here, just because of this occasion, because I'm a big fan. I think it's one of the most underrated movies in the Halloween franchise, personally. So that's the commentary we're going to get into here is the Halloween 4. Get your Blu-ray ready, get it ready on streaming, however you want to. Pause this if you want. When I say, and here we go, that's when we're going to start the movie, and we're going to get into it. All right, no further ado, guys. Let's get into it. And here we go. Movie has begun. You should be seeing October 30th, 1988 on the screen now. Let's get into Halloween 4, everybody. Hey, right off the top, let's get this out of the way. If you're watching this commentary on YouTube, be sure to hit that like button. Helps a ton with that YouTube algorithm. Helps a shit ton. And be sure to subscribe here for coverage on horror movies, comedy movies, superhero movies, and I cover the College Football 25 and soon to be College Football 26 video games as well. If you listen on the audio side, leave me a rating there, preferably a 5-star one if you would. That would help out a lot. Going to have this up on all podcast platforms also. So I know sometimes it's hard to, on YouTube if you're not watching the video, maybe it's easier just pull it up on a podcast platform, and that way you can still lock your phone and be watching it on your screen. You have that option as well because it's going to be up on all podcast platforms. But here on the YouTube channel, just hit the like button if you're on it and subscribe. Sasha Jensen from another one of my favorite movies too, Dazed and Confused. So that's what I love about Halloween 4. One of the things that makes it rate higher in the franchise, just this opening right here. It's so fall themed, really gets you in the mood for the Halloween season and shit. Yeah, everything is great about this movie. The only downside is, they fooled us on the poster, the one that I have on the shirt, the one that's in the thumbnail for this video. They had the 78 mask in that, and then in this movie, the mask is kind of goofy. But besides that, they got everything else so right in this movie, really, I thought. It was a perfect return to form. I do think Halloween 3 is underrated, though. Not going to lie. Halloween 2 is just not one of my favorites. That score kicking in. Alan Howarth on the score did a great job with this one. Dwight H. Little directing, as you see there on the screen. Now, why do they always move him, the night before Halloween? Like, move this man in, like, the spring. This guy right here, the security guard, is awesome. He has only this one scene, but man, he steals the show. Never. What a line. I like this though, because pay attention once they get in this elevator. It's pretty much all exposition explaining the plot and like how we got to where we are now. And it's like the elevator of exposition. I think I've heard it called before. Just in case you've never seen a Halloween movie before, this is what's happened. We know he was gone for a movie in Halloween 3. We're apologizing. We're bringing him back here. So this is where we're at in the story. This is where we're picking up. Let's get into the shit. That's what I like about that. It's just like, here, I'm going to set it up for you, and then we're going to get into this movie. They got it all out of the way in one elevator ride right there, really quickly. What if he just woke up right there? I like the what's it called? The wrap around the face. I liked that as a look. If they'd have gone for that for the whole movie, I wouldn't have been mad. Especially opposed to what the mask we end up getting in this movie compared to like a lot of the others in the franchise. Loomis said, "Fuck your memos. I ain't reading nothing." Well, damn. Yeah, he said, "Fuck you, Doctor Loomis." Listen, that part right there where the score kicks in and they're wheeling him out in the rain. Oh man, it's such a good opening because you get that great fall scene with the opening to get into the movie. Then you get this scene right here to just kick things off, and that score is perfect right there, man. He's looking like is he still dead in there? He just wanted him gone from there, and I don't blame him. Yeah, the galls around the face. Well, that's all he needed to hear. He said, "I got more family out there. Oh, I'm coming back." Look at this, man. Watch this. Watch this. Here, oh gosh! Talk about a splitting headache. He just stuck his thumb through his fucking forehead, and then of course the first introduction to the Danielle Harris character, Jamie, one of the more underrated characters in the franchise. She carried Halloween 4 and Halloween 5. I'm not a fan of Halloween 5, but she got screwed in Halloween 6, and I hated that, even though I do think Halloween 6 is underrated too. But Halloween 4, man, one of my favorites. Why would you have to tell her that? I feel like you could just, not said that and make her feel worse about it. Halloween 4 is by far my favorite out of 4, 5, and 6, though. That Thorin trilogy. Just out of those three, I would like Halloween 4, then Halloween 6, and Halloween 5 is near the bottom of the franchise for me. I just did not like Halloween 5. There's scenes and moments, but that's about it, man. Overall, not a big fan of it. Similar to Resurrection and Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Those are kind of my bottom ones in the franchise. And now Halloween Ends as well is down there too. If you think about it, I know it was like more like Halloween 5 that brought in the like connection after she had touched his hand, at the end of this shit. But it really almost seems like she can sense that he's breaking out and everything right here if you go back and look at it through that lens. clearly just a old set photo from Halloween '78. I do feel like I like the way that they named her character Jamie though, to kind of like pay homage to like the audience. It's like some fan service before like fan service was a thing. I feel like this movie would have been so much scarier if just the mask was a little bit better. He looks so goofy with that mask. It still has good moments, good tension, good acting, shot well. This movie does have some, little moments of comedy in it too when you go back and watch it. That makes me think of the closet scene in Halloween 2018 now. He just looks like got new cookies. What's funny about this like dream sequence though is like how would she know what his mask was going to look like? We've only seen him from the first movie. She already knows what mask he's going to get before he even has it because right now he's still got the gauze on and shit. He ain't even got that mask yet. Because don't we see him reach in and grab it in the store when they're in there trying on costumes or whatever? And he definitely doesn't have it now. She predicted what he would look like. See, the fucking telepathic connection was there before five, slightly. She knew what mask he had already. Haddonfield on Halloween Day, 1988, the year WVU went to play in the national championship game in football. I like how he blamed her for he dipped his own dipshit tie in the coffee. He said, "Damn it, Darlene," and she had another one ready for him. What an asshole! It was your own fault. An oinker for a daughter? Who would call themselves an oinker? Uh, you got to babysit, Rachel. Yep, screw your date with Brady, whatever his name is. Brady. I said Brody at first. Who the fuck is Brody? What is this, Mallrats? Tom Brady. Oh man, it's not her fault the little girl doesn't understand sarcasm. She didn't see her there, or she wouldn't have said that shit at least. So they preserve Rachel's character, because she didn't see her there, or she wouldn't have said that shit. And you can tell she legitimately feels bad, even though I think she was joking. That's what I'm saying. She didn't understand the sarcasm. Look at the dog. He's like, "Oh yeah, scratch my belly, please." She's like, hell no, I don't want to get dressed in a scary costume. Don't you remember a scary costume dude chased my aunt around? Her mom? Was it Jamie her mom? I can't remember. No, I think Jamie was her aunt. Or Lori, I should say, was Jamie's aunt. I like how they messed that up. His middle name is like Audrey, right? And it says Michael M. Myers. Why the hell? Should be Michael A. Myers. That's one thing. Another thing about this movie, if you look, the side of his face right here, see how it looks like almost like a fucking fried egg on the side? It's only like that in a couple scenes because after they shot some of that, he was like, the makeup looks bad. We have to change it. And so then they end up changing it. It looks different once we get later in the movies. It doesn't look like that right there with the circle outside and the circle inside of it like a damn fried egg. But Donald Pleasance still fucking kills it, man. He's like, I got blown up with this motherfucker, and now we're both still alive. I like how they literally like blew each other up basically, and all he's got is just the scar on the one side of his face. And that's funny because in the original script for Halloween 6, they were going to play on that. They were going to have him in a sanitarium. Dr. Loomis ended up in a sanitarium in the original script that they were going to do for Halloween 6 before they ended up, changing it. It went through development hell for many years, of course. Halloween 6 came much later after 4 and 5. Don't you yell at Loomis, man. Loomis is the GOAT. Donald Pleasance, man. The franchise has missed him since he's been gone, for real. He's the best thing about Halloween 5 is his performance. I mean, he's like batshit crazy in Halloween 5, but he's still fantastic playing that role, chewing up the scenery and just being kind of more wild. But other than, I mean, here, Halloween 1 and Halloween 5, he's great. 6, just a little bit more downplayed performance, but still great. But man, Loomis just makes it so much better. This is up there for me in his performances. But the best moment in Halloween 5 is by far when he beats Michael Myers down with that big ass 2x4. And it looks like he dies with him. I like how he can like barely walk, but he's like, I'm gonna wade into the water. He already knows what's up, man. I mean, he probably knew what's up when he seen the blood on the damn outside. I wish he would have said the evil is gone from here, just like he did in part 1. That'd have been a nice callback. And today, as much as they do fan service, they would have 100% said it. That's what you think, man. This man's gonna operate till he's like 60. See, look at the makeup now. It already looks different. He said, you're talking about him as if he were a man. He's not a man, baby. And here's how he gets his jumpsuit this time. Gotta show a scene of that. Oh no. Sometimes it's scarier, man, just having to hear it and then picture what the fuck just happened in my mind. Theater of the mind right there. I like how they just stuck a sticker on the side of a car. And make it look like he works somewhere. Like, I feel like Loomis would not drive around with that. They tried to give him that sticker. He'd be like, I'm not putting that on my car. This is a Chevy. Kidding me? This is one of the best scenes of the movie, though. One of the most underrated scenes in the franchise is when they face off inside this gas station. And the way they film it is so fucking awesome. Once it gets in here, man, we just got to take that in. Go on in there, Dr. Loomis. Hello? What if Michael's just like, sit? Oh, no. That's what happens when you get too kinky, folks. He took it too far. Here it is, guys. Let's take it in. Why are there so many pictures of Abraham Lincoln on the wall? There's like 6 Abraham Lincolns. Is that a zombie? All right, here it is. Damn phone doesn't work. Yep, it's like he sensed him. Look at that. Look at that shot. That shot right there is so dope. Does that quick zoom into him? Great shot. And that's what I'm saying. He looks fantastic even without the mask right there. He said, don't do it. God, this is a great scene, dude. Damn you, Michael. And then the score kicks in. Oh, man. That theme. What a scene. Donald Pleasance absolutely killing that monologue. And then he goes to shoot and it's just like he's gone. And the score kicks in. That's beautiful. And there's no better Dr. Loomis than Donald Pleasance yelling, Michael! This man about to get blown up again. He just got blown up. He's in bad shape. Now he gets about blown up by 2 gas pumps exploding. Done lost his Chevy. He was so mad they made him put a sticker on it. Now it done got blown up. At least he'll get a new car with no sticker. And obviously this school scene is kind of supposed to be a callback to Halloween 1 and how Tommy Doyle was getting bullied as well. Like I said, this movie gives you fan service before fan service was a thing. Damn, kids were mean as shit back in the 80s then, weren't they? She said, how could you? Your mom's dead. Damn, son. How dare you? She should have smacked that boy. I love how them still singing it and stuff keeps playing like it's part of the score while she's running out. Like, what? What's happening? Is this like a part of the score now? Just kids yelling hateful insults at a little girl? Oh, yeah, perfect timing. Because I was about to start crying. Now I'm happy. That's exactly how she was feeling. Like, okay, I'll be all right. They would have a sale on Halloween? I don't know about that. I feel like it'd have to probably be the day after. At least nowadays. That lady that's driving, her hair is dope. That's how you know it's legit 80s. Alright, so here's where we see the mask get grabbed. Oh, here's a great scene right here, though, guys. The fuck off Wade scene. Classic shit right here, too. Like I mentioned, good comedy moments in the movie. This is probably the best for me. It's up there. Just throwing a nice little comedic scene here. It's a good introduction to him, too, really, Brady. Because we've heard about him, but he's such a douche ass. Timon's got to be primo. Fucking Wade. Look at that old $10 bill, man. All right, here it is. Just straight like that. Fuck off, Wade. He looks so disappointed. Oh, man, that's great. That's funny no matter how many times you see it. Get you every single time. Keeps getting funnier every single time I see it. Yep, she's going trick-or-treating now, man. So, hold on. Try and put the moves on this guy. Look, so there it is, conveniently. His mask right there. See, he hadn't gotten it yet. He gets it right here in this scene, but somehow she knew. Telepathic connection? Maybe. Bad editing? Possible. No, I'm just kidding. I like this movie a lot. Hey, but got to point out some of the negative points too. It's not perfect, but it's just one that ranks high on my rewatch list. Try and rewatch every October, of course, along with the original. It's up there. Maybe after I get done doing some commentaries this month, I'll do a Halloween ranking, and then eventually I'll fill in the gaps, the ones that I don't get to do in October Horror Onslaught Month this month, and to have all the Halloween commentaries on the channel. That'll be the plan. I told you, gotta babysit, man. This dude is too horny. Look at him, the veins are popping out in his neck. He's so pissed. Oh, he's lying. He was angry. You see, I saw the veins in his neck. But sorry, because he's already looking at that other girl, and then he ends up hooking up with her. He knew it right then. What an asshole. And I think the fact that she picks the clown outfit, there he is grabbing his mask, also shows that there was already a connection even before she touched his hand. Because look, is she seeing that, or is that just showing us that for the movie? Like, I don't know. But the fact that she picked the clown costume definitely, I think, says a lot. There was already some type of connection there through the family side of things. I hope they paid for that clown costume she bought. Oh, this is another classic underrated scene right here. Reverend Sayer. after these kids play him, which is always fucked up. But it's honestly accurate to people shit to shit people would do back in the high school days and everything. Just like, yeah, let's act like we're gonna pick up this old man, man. As soon as he gets to the car, we're gonna fucking get out of here. Damn. Did my man dirty. Did my man Dr. Loomis dirty. Here's Reverend Sayer pulling up. And I like how they use like him and Loomis's conversation to like kind of define Loomis's character and this shit about like what he's doing and everything. Plus, there's some good comedy in here as well. Dumont County. See, now the makeup's back to how it was earlier in that first scene. See, it switches back and forth for a while before it's finally, back to the other. But you can tell when it's each one. That's the fried egg looking one. That's that's my favorite. One of my favorite parts is, oh, you're hunting it, ain't you? He notices it, and it just calls out, Dr. Loomis. He's after it. He's after evil essentially. Hey, don't die like a man dies. Got some blueberry muffins here. I'm about to eat while I'm in this commentary. I'll tell y'all that much. I ain't ate much yet today. Oh, these are chocolate chip. I mean, that's fine, but I prefer the blueberry. And of course, I got my coffee. Look at Loomis giving a little smile right here. One of the few times get to see Loomis smile. So basically, you're telling me these kids are just running around TPing trees around the neighborhood? What the hell? They would get murdered today. Those jack o' lanterns, awesome. See what I mean? Just the little details in this movie. It feels so Halloween. Like the spooky season atmosphere that this movie provides might be the best in the franchise. It is up there. All the little set decorations, the little montage in the opening, just everything about it, man. It creates a great fall feel. Feels like fall when you watch this shit. Not to mention multiple great scenes that are very memorable. I've already talked about. And then great kills as well. We saw one with the opening, but there's even some better ones here later in the movie. I'm telling you, if The Mask was great, it'd be, top tier. And it is like top tier for me, basically, but for everybody, I think. The Mask is what holds it back. And a couple of plot things here or there, like the ones I pointed out, but nothing major. Oh yes, the set photo of Laurie. That's a headshot. That's a random kid in a clown costume. They had to put it in black and white to make it super old. Oh, but she'd already seen that picture as well, so maybe that's how she knew. Why would she have a picture of Michael in a clown costume, though? Of all things. And how would she have it? No Sheriff Brackett. I like Sheriff Meeker, though, man. I like Sheriff Meeker. I'm a fan. He said he's an invalid. Not anymore. The man woke up. He heard about his niece. Okay, so Lori is her mom? Got it. And now he's back to the better looking makeup on the prosthetic. Like, imagine this. Imagine just a man coming into the thing shouting about Michael Myers being there in town and everything. Because do you think they would even know who Loomis is? I mean, I guess they'd probably heard the stories. I like how this guy believes it, though. I guess that just goes to show how much Michael Myers had already become a legend, like in that town, just in the 10 years since like '78 when he came back, and then going on into Halloween 2 that same night, just over that one night basically, because they take place over the same night. So they did a good job establishing like that this town was in fear because of that and everything in this movie as well. Something that adds to it. Look at the Halloween atmosphere around that house. Look how big her bag. She's going to be able to get a shit ton of candy in there. She's going to need to go to a dentist on Monday. I'm assuming this is the weekend. It feels like a Halloween weekend to me. That was a complete like ADR or something. His mouth did not match his words at all on the first time he pulled his mask up. I was like, hey, move your mouth. We're going to add words in later. The different voice actor. Cops do it by the book. And this is where we find out that Brady is an asshole. She just answers the trick or treaters with no pants on. It was a different time. It was a different time in the 80s. It was a different time. So, so she tries to blame her. He immediately comes out and he plays the victim. You blew off our date at the last minute, so I had to get with the cop's daughter. He redeems himself later in the movie, but right now, you just feel like he is an asshole. Good acting, though, by Sasha Jensen. For a little girl who gets scared a lot, she always ends up by herself a ton. If I was having nightmares about a dude in a mask, bro, you wouldn't be able to pull me from somebody's side. Here comes the militia. See, this also shows how the town was feeling about Michael Myers and that legend of everything that had happened. Because, I mean, it's been a while, but it's also so long that they know people that were affected by that shit. I like this. He said, I got to take a swig of my beer first. And they're like, what? They're like, what the hell? But then they follow him. But that's the best reasoning. Phone never just rings at a police station. No way, no how. And they're like, yeah, you're probably right. We better go check this shit out. Like we're the fucking mystery machine team. Like we're the fucking Scooby Doo gang with guns. Dr. Loomis is like, oh, nice place. Nice place. I like this. So he's not as big of a absolute terror to the child in this one as he is in five. Sometimes comedically so in five, but it is funny some of their interactions though, because Donald Pleasance's Dr. Loomis was just like a yelling old man. You feel like he's always angry at the time, so it creates some great moments. He actually uses her bait as bait at one point. Is that a dead dog again? Did he eat it? Did he eat it again, like he did in the first one? Yeah, he's got it. He's gonna watch this house. So I'll probably see if they got cable. Oh, Bucky! Another great scene, man. I'm saying there's multiple memorable scenes in Halloween 4, man, that stick in your mind when you're thinking about that thing. Just wish his mask was different because look the way he stepped into that. He was like, "Hello, you'll see me. I see you." He said, "Oh, I'll try that Halloween shit." Look, Bucky is so important. He has to have his name on his suit and on his hard hat, both. I need two forms of identification. That way, in case a crazy serial killer ever shows up and kills me, people will definitely know it's me, even if he electrocutes my body. Just like he does right there. People that show up to him afterwards be like, man, he was really prophetic with his death. He said that's why he wanted two forms of identification in case he ever got electrocuted by a serial killer. Bucky knew his shit, man. You look how, Michael just turns away like, mid, mid kill. But see, that's what I love about, I think is underrated about this movie, is that this version of Michael Myers, this version of the shape, you can tell he like had a plan, right? Because okay, he comes into town, we find out he wrecks the police station, cuts, phone lines, things like that, and then goes there and immediately kills all the power in the town before he goes into the town. So it was like he was systematically, you know, checking off boxes before he went into the town so he could do like the most damage possible and nothing was going to stop him from trying to get to his family, get to Jamie, which is a different version of like Michael than what we've seen, more so than like the stalking version early in the initial one. He still has those elements to him in this movie, but he seems like a Michael with a plan that's more attacking and stuff. And so I really like that aspect of the film, that to where you get to see him like using his brains a little bit and how he's gonna come at his like attack into Haddonfield. Like, I'm gonna take out the police force, I'm gonna cut all the power, and then that's when I make my move. Like, damn, Michael, you strategic about this shit. You methodical like a coach marching down the football field and shit, Mike. The hell. So that's just a good writing, by the people that wrote this one. I think it's McElroy, right? That's his last name. I'm pretty sure. Is it Alan McElroy? I think that wrote this. Pretty sure. Let's take a look. I am 100%, not 100%, but I am about 97% sure. I know his last name's McElroy. What? Am I crazy? Alan B. McElroy. Yes. Okay. The first one, when you pull it up on IMDb, it doesn't list his name. It lists the three other story credits, but Alan B. McElroy had the story and the screenplay credit. And that's the name I've always heard of writing Halloween 4. So when I pulled it up, I was like, what the hell, IMDb's tripping? Because it didn't even have his name listed. But yeah, good script on this one, man. Like I said, I think it's probably the most underrated in the franchise. I'm having a good time, though. Yeah, a dog will bite your leg off if you come near me. This fake dog I have. It's like Manti Te'o's girlfriend and this dog, the two biggest fake characters ever known to pop culture. Yeah. Loomis is like, we got to find his niece and we got to protect her because that's who he's coming after. Or his niece, because it's Laurie's daughter. But that's why I was thinking it was Laurie's niece, because it's Michael's niece. Bro, but this is so crazy that kids would be this bold, like to fuck with the cops like this as Michael Myers. Like, you're asking to get murdered, like that dude in Halloween 2. What if there was multiple Michael Myers, just all of a sudden? That'd be a terrible twist for the franchise to take. Although that original script for Halloween 4 that you can like read about now, I think it's Taking Shape 2 is the book where you can read about a lot of those scripts. Like the original one, Michael Myers was like a supernatural force more than an actual person. So he probably could have split himself into multiple people because there's a scene where he becomes like giant, like a freaking Godzilla size at the drive-in theater. Which now I would like to see them do a version of that or something because it's so different, such a different style than just like a traditional slasher. They was trying to really do something different with it. But I of course love what they ended up doing here with Halloween 4, minus the missteps with the mask. The only thing is, I wish that we could have got to see some of this. The police station massacre. But I understand it would have been expensive to show and probably and everything. So, you know, just one of my minor complaints with the movie. Like I said, there's very few negative things you'll hear me mention. It's all usually praise when it comes to Halloween 4. Even seeing the aftermath of this is at least cool, though. At least they gave us that much. Oh my God. He cut his arm clean off. It isn't a man. I like how Halloween 4 completely leaned into him, being just an evil force more so than a person. Evil. Purely and simply evil. I would not be able to sleep either if I was scared to death. Especially, I've already been scared. Now I'm hearing about this. They said you're out of business. Dude looks like Sam Kinison. Oh yeah, see, now that they know, this is when you get to find out how the town reacts, like the last time. See, they even said one of them lost their boy. See, it's been 10 years, but the connection's still there. I love that back and forth right there. He said, "You created a lynch mob." He said, "But you haven't got a police force." It's true, man. You didn't have one. Didn't end up working out well, but he did have a point there. Now when he left this guy here that there was nothing that was going to happen to this dude except for him to die terribly. Like we knew you were a fucked character in the movie the second he said, "We stay here and watch out for the house." Looks like a wax hand sitting in the back. It's the bad thing about the 4Ks and Blu-rays. Sometimes it shows a little much. I mentioned that on the Halloween '78 commentary, but it's also cool because you can see things you never like picked up on before as well. Is that a Michael Myers mask, or is it just made to look like one at their house? It looks like a floating Michael Myers mask. I guess it's just strung from the deck. So many lights. Why do they need a light? They got two lights on top. They got flashlights in their hands. He's got like 18 headlights. Now, how these dudes? That's how you know that's the bad thing is they showed these dudes drinking, and obviously this motherfucker was drunk. Said I saw his face, and it's just a regular person, and he thought it was Michael Myers' face. How would he think that? But when you think about it as well, I know Halloween Kills gets a lot of hate. I personally really like Halloween Kills, but that scene with the guy that's the other escaped mental patient and this scene are a lot alike when you think about it. Because that scene was showing like a mob mentality to where people were thinking that person's Michael Myers, even though if you really sit and thought about it, there's no way it could be Michael Myers. And like this is kind of that same scenario, and they actually end up killing somebody in both movies. Killed Ted Hollister in this one. He's the heir to the Hollister fortune that makes the t-shirts. Well, he didn't see Myers at all, buddy. I'll tell you that much. And here goes Brady getting laid. We have a random shot of a booty to start the scene as the transition. That actually is like a dope shot with the fire behind them, and they're just kind of silhouette, though. That's pretty sweet, I can't lie. He thinks he's in heaven. Brady, you're not even thinking about Rachel right now, man. What an ass. Okay. Getting right down to it now. Getting into it. Oh my God. Could you imagine being back in high school and something like that happening? That guy's going to have blue balls for the rest of the night. Think about that when you think about, how he has to go on and try and protect people and stuff in this movie. The whole time he has giant blue balls. Because if you think about what's happened right now in this scene. So he was probably in pain. He was in pain doing all that before he sacrificed himself. That's his redemptive arc right there. You think it's just when he sacrificed himself later, but then it's really when you watch it and realize, oh, he did it all with blue balls. That's how they redeemed his character. He fought through that pain, sacrificed himself after being a complete asshole here through the first part of the movie. Got my coffee, boys. And one of my Michael Myers mugs. For those watching on the video version, you can see that part as well. Feels only right, man. October Horror Onslaught Month. It's the only bad thing about this Halloween 4 shirt is I bought it back when I was fatter, so now it's like bigger on me. I like how you throw that in at the end. That scene in at the end. That would be me if I had a daughter. It's like if I catch you groping on her, I will shoot you with that shotgun, sir. Just a fair warning. That's all I'm letting you know. Because if you don't think I didn't see it in the window when I was pulling in and y'all were making out, she was in her panties. I almost shot you then. But now I'm giving you a warning. I like how Michael Myers just rode over there with him in the car. It's like, I'm just going to lay in the back seat, dude, and hope he doesn't notice I'm here. So I always check the back seat when you get into your vehicle, guys. Hey, are you guys okay? I'm sorry. I was having sex with another lady that's not you, even though we were supposed to go on a date tonight. How's he not know who Michael Myers is? His parents were just not, they shielded him from that shit. He's like, I can't deal with this right now. He said, I've already cheated on this girl. Now they have a possible killer after him. He's like, I'm going to go to the attic. I'm getting out of here. It's too late, man. He was in your car. You're just locking yourselves in there with him now. That's something else, you don't even think about till on different rewatches. Like we've already seen that Michael Myers was in the back of his car. We saw the door was open there, so we already know he's in there. So we know that now him sealing up all this stuff, just locking them in there with him. It's crazy to think about. Really, you thought you were protecting everyone, but actually you were dooming everyone. That's the thing. People don't realize it's hard to shoot scenes like this in horror movies where it's like dark outside, but you have to make it appear dark because you also actually have to be able to light the scene, but still keep it looking dark. Some movies fuck up on that and it's just dark as fuck. Yeah, we've locked the windows, we've locked the back door. Now you only have this front door, but everyone's going to have to try and get out of this front door, and they're not going to be able to make it. So, and realistically, they're going to end up crawling out the window in the attic. Just a heads up. Just letting you know. I fucked us all by locking us in here with this guy. Oh, the door's creeping open. See? Fake scare. I like that they throw that in a little bit as well. Before it became so big of a trope as well, of course, because I remember this was 88. Yeah, somebody come help us. We need the National Guard. Anyone really? Um, we're all screwed. He's actually in this house with me right now. I just have not realized it yet. But I'm not going to lie. The homewrecker chick, the sheriff's daughter, gets her comeuppance as well in a gnarly way. Maybe the best death scene of the movie. It's up there. She's making tea or coffee. Looks like tea. Because I saw the little teapot shutting style. Rachel was a good character too. I feel like if she'd have been in Halloween 5 more, other with one of the just very many bad decisions they made in that movie was killing off her character. If she'd have been in 5 and could have continued to explore her relationship with Jamie, that would have been great as well. But I guess with also the crazy, twist ending of 4, it would kind of been hard for them to maybe us to believe, oh, they're just like best friends again after she tried to stab her mom and kill her. Well, she did stab her, but doesn't kill her. Something I always forget. I like how Michael literally like picked up on what everybody was doing, so then he could just take this guy's place in the chair and rock it the exact same way. It's like she's already seen it once. She'll never know. Look at that. She's just that little shot right there of Michael that just pops up in the light there. Great stuff. Minimal, but wonderful. Hell yeah, got an emergency, Frank. No, it ain't no prank. We're fucked. Mr. Butte. Yeah, it's not over yet, bud. You're not gonna make it through. Blonde hair, mustache dude. Loomis was like, I'm getting the hell out of here. You could tell that's what he's so scared of, is that nobody knows how to stop him. But Loomis always willing to try, man. What a dude, Dr. Loomis. He's the man. He is the man. I need to bring like a futon in here for when I do commentaries. That way I can just like chill. Back and neck start hurting after a while sometimes. And this has a good cushion on it, but then I always feel like, damn, I'm being too quiet being back this far. And then I listen to it and I'm like, oh, I'm not. But it still gets in my head when I'm recording. That is no way to be. That is horrible advice. Oh, hell yeah. Rachel, throw that shit on her. Good stuff, Rachel. They don't believe him? It takes them a while. Takes them a while. I'll tell you that much. Physique, great job setting up the stakes for this movie as well. Like we got reinforcements coming. Just a matter of surviving until they get there. Was there just a random skull head? Looks like a giant Pez dispenser. Rachel? Rachel! The secret connection between The Dark Knight and Halloween 4. That would be terrible. No power, no nothing. There's maybe a killer on the loose. You just got to sit here and wait for this radio. Just nothing but pure anticipation. And here's where we see that Michael has studied the room. He's like, I'm going to sit in this rocking chair just like that man was. And like I said about that cop, man, we knew when you were left here by yourself, you were not going to make it. Yeah, it's boring and terrifying. But here comes one of the best kills in the movie, if not the best kill. This is also awesome discovery. Boom. The candle lights it up and they lit that perfectly. And then that's when you realize, oh shit. And the score kicks in. for this badass kill right here. Watch, watch. Boop. It's like you guys remember the Bob kill in the original? Let's up that by 10. Let's do it with a shotgun through someone's abdomen, and we'll see the wall explode behind him. Freaking awesome, man. That's good shit. It's probably one of my top kills in the franchise, honestly. It's up there. I heard from him. Now I can get out of this creepy room with this radio. Yeah, he gone. Michael somehow killed him and turned his head into an art project within a few minutes. Oh yeah, there's a shotgun through her body. Forgot to warn you about that one. And this one you get that nice little drop of the score with just a ping, ding, ding, ding. But some added little stings in there too. That's always creepy too. Good mix of that and the classic Halloween theme go a long way. Oh, you gotta have the sting when Brady comes in. Give you that jump scare because everyone thinks it might be Michael. I like are the other hands on the stairwell? I never really paid attention to that. I don't know. That's a bowl. It's like Michael saw that sculpture and was like, I'm going to do that with this guy's hands, but I'm going to put them underneath his head. Yeah, that's what I've been saying. They locked everyone in here. It's only one way to open the door. She woke up scared to death, heard gunshots, and now her nightmares are about to come true. And here's Brady's redemptive moment. Sacrificing himself because he knows he was an asshole. Admirable, but doesn't make up for what you did, Brady. But overall, as far as the story is concerned, at least you have a nice character arc in this movie. Shout out to Alan McElroy and the writing team, as I said earlier. Just a second too late, Brady. A second too late. Now you probably just had your shoulder dislocated. Why would you pick it up like that? You at least had one more shell, didn't you? You could have at least shot him once. Did you not load 2 shells in there just a second ago? It's like, I'm going to throw a couple good ones. Oh, no, I'll let you get one, but that's all you get. You get once, you're not going to hit me twice. And then this is crazy. This is a nice touch right there by him spitting the blood out and shit. And then you just get to hear the sound effects of him fucking crushing his skull. Gosh, Mike. Come on, Michael. Yikes. See, his kills once he's stuck in the house here, brutal. And it really builds the stakes up for like how scared you are for them when he's coming for them. And also just involving a younger girl was something that really hadn't been done then either. Like, oh my gosh, he's after like a younger kid now. Because like in the first one, Tommy and Lindsay were there, but he never felt like he was really after them. This movie is like, we're going to take that to the next level. We're actually going to go after the kid. The kid is going to be the MacGuffin. Ah, great. They have my preferred knife with the preferred size that I enjoy conveniently right here. Told you guys earlier, they're going to have to get up crawling out through the attic. It's like I've seen this a million times or something. The score lightly clicking in. This is a great scene here. As far as chase scenes, this is up there for me too. The rooftop scene of Halloween 4, very well done. And I believe that think Ellie Cornell's the name of the woman that played Rachel, if I'm not mistaken. She actually ended up getting really badly hurt in this. I think it was her. It was either her or Daniel Harris one. I believe it was her though. Like there was a nail sticking up at one point when they have to do like the slide down thing, and she actually ended up getting cut. It was one of the two. I'm guessing like on that scene there. Does that feel like it just cut back to where they were like before? Like we'll just reuse the same footage to where you get to this point that we just shot before you fell. The weird edit right there for a second. I like how see with him with that weird mask, he's coming up there like a donk, a donk. This looks so goofy. It's scary, right? Like when they're showing his feet and like he's in silhouette. But then once the mask gets lit up, he's like, "Hello, I'm Michael. Would you like some buttered toast with me? Let's eat pancakes." Oh, come here. I'm gonna take you to a yard sale in my neighborhood. I think it's because they had like those like what shoulder pads on him or whatever too. But I like George P. Wilbur because I said Halloween 6 I do enjoy as well. Which he played Michael for half this movie. There was another actor that played it for a period, a few scenes. I like how she just put Rachel on the thing that could have potentially been a contraption of death if it ends up choking her. It's like, I'm going to tie this around you, but don't let it get around your neck because it could kill you. Now, she literally fell about 3 stories. And she's just like, I'll make it. I'll be fine. But you always got to have that moment, man. It's a slasher where, the final girl was injured, knocked out, something. Look, I like how he's just peeking out like, oh, she's not there for you anymore. That means I am going to continue to come at you. Why did he just stop for a second, though? Why did he just keep coming? Why did he stop right there? He just completely stopped. Like, hi, I need you to run before I can come after you, or it's no fun for me. Look at that shot with like the hazy look. It almost looks like smoke there in that night. Those deep blues on the screen there, the color palette. Oh, that was pretty. It's another great fall feel. Like I said, you get that a lot here in Halloween 4. Dr. Loomis. Dr. Loomis jump scare alert. It's like, no, you have to come with me. I need to use you as bait so I can try and catch Michael. I like how he's like, we're just going to break into a school. I'm going to shoot it open. Like, I wonder what story he told her. Like, I wonder what he told her, like, he was taking her. Why would she think that this would be the safe place? I mean, she is a little girl, so he probably could have fooled her, but it's just funny to think about, hey, we're going to go to the schoolhouse. He'll never look there. We're going to hide out. But in reality, he knew he was going to be bait. There it is. The famous pink Michael Myers with the blonde hair scene that somehow slipped by everyone and then got left in the movie. Like I love how even when they were editing it, they weren't like, we should probably go back and reshoot this. They're like, send it. Let's go. That's the biggest error of the movie is the pink faced, blonde haired Michael Myers. Looks like Sting from the WCW days before he had the crow paint back in his old school blonde hair Sting. Gets Sting, Michael Myers. because that's how apparently like all the masks and stuff came in for this. And they had to like spray paint them and stuff. And there was one that they, I guess, hadn't painted, and somehow that's the one that the stuntman put on, and that's the one that was in the shots, and so that's the one they had to use. You know that they had been overworking themselves, working too late at night, something for them to miss that, and then it be in the editing room like, too late now. Fuck it. Hopefully, no one notices. But it's pretty easily noticeable, especially once you know to look for it. And then he's back in his mask, like, "Hello, would you like to go eat chicken nuggets?" There's no way she wouldn't have broken a rib. Rolling down those stairs that way? Yeah, she's crawling because she's like broken a hip bone or a rib bone. Is that a fire extinguisher? Do those even hurt? Or is she just like blinding him? It's like there's an alarm going off at the school. We should check that out. I like how they don't have any police communication. They're just riding around town listening for like alarms and suspect noises. It worked out for him. I like how they showed the random shots of just random places around the school. I guess they were trying to think like, hey, remember the ending to the original Halloween? Let's throw something like that in right here. Yeah, they're like, we're getting out of here. And then, just when you think it's safe, it's Cape Fear, Michael Myers, taking lessons from Robert De Niro. Which movie came out first? That's what I need to know. Cape Fear is 91. So Cape Fear was actually after this, but I think Cape Fear was a remake though. So I don't know if that was in the original one or not. But either way, it's funny to think that that came after this, and they were like, "Remember when Michael Myers came out from under the thing in Halloween 4? What if we did that with De Niro?" Finally, the reserves are coming in. So Halloween 4 is great, man. It's quick, it's to the point, great chase scenes, iconic scenes that you remember, and then, an awesome ending. Awesome ending. Now, the bad thing is some of the ending gets taken away when you see with like what happens Halloween 5 and Halloween 6. And personally, I could have done without the very ending, which we'll talk to about when we get there, but I do like the callbacks to it and what it does. Like I said, this movie given fan service before it was a thing. So many cops, they're all feeling like perfectly safe now. It's like, oh, we're all good. We're good now. Everything's okay. We've made it. We have survived. And also, it's like October in Illinois, late October. It's cold. This man is just willing to sit outside, sit in the truck bed, freezing to death. He doesn't even have a jacket on. He just has a flannel. And here comes Cape Fear Michael Myers. He was attached to the bottom of the truck holding on the entire time, guys. What core strength Michael has. And I like how he's able to take these guys out and no one happened to look in the rearview mirror at the right moment. Like they're all just completely focused. Never heard a thing. They don't have the radio playing, nothing, but they still don't hear nothing. They notice nothing. But you do get this great little jump scare moment here. Because number one, you didn't think he was going to come in from that side. You thought it'd be from the middle window. So it was smart to have him look and make him think it's coming that way and come in through the other window. And that also creates a callback to Halloween 1 when he slammed that glass open on the nurse at the beginning of there when he was breaking out of the sanitarium. And I like how he just absolutely, completely ripped that man's throat out with one hand. Insane. And the theme kicks in for what's an awesome ending here into our climax of the film. October Horror Onslaught Month continuing with Halloween movie commentary, guys. Got Halloween 1 so far. Now Halloween 4. Gonna move up. We have another one out. One of my other favorites in the franchise coming soon in the next few days as we move through the month of October. And I try and get to put a full commentary up on the channel for all of my favorite Halloween movies. They'll up, of course, on YouTube and on any podcast platform. So if you're on the podcast side listening to this, hop over to YouTube, give me a subscription, and vice versa. She's an excellent driver to be able to swerve like that and maintain control of the vehicle and not wreck them out. Like when you see his head bang on the window and then you throw him off, you got to go run him over like immediately, like 6 times. Instead, you just let him stand up and then you hit him. You should have just like kept driving. And bam, right here. Oh, I like how he's like, no, I'm flying. I don't know if he crossed the plane or not, Jim. It may not be a touchdown. He dove for the end zone there. And look here, a million cops. Okay, it was like 4 cop cars, but it feels like a lot that show up here. And so then this moment right here is kind of what ends up leading to Halloween 5 and how she is and the way they went decided to go with that, making her mutant stuff because like her touching him and establishing some connection. But I do like the fact of when you throw in the ending that's at the twist of this, it kind of does have a basis in how it happens. When you see this part right here, her touching him, it's like the evil was passing on. And that's kind of what the writers were going to want to go with because they originally wanted her to be the killer in Halloween 5 and, kind of moving on, which I don't really like that. I'm glad that didn't happen as much as I do love Halloween 4 and love the twist of this from here on out. And this part right here is just awesome. It's like, remember Halloween 1 when we shot him 6 times? We're going to take that to a whole different level. We're going to shoot him and he's going to fall back into a grave that we somehow, right there for him, built with, just covered with boards. And then I love how in Halloween 5, they're like, let's take it a step further and say they threw dynamite in there as well. Because I feel like in the original strategy of this movie, before Halloween 5 was coming, when they originally making it, that was the end of that part, and he had passed the evil on to her with what happens here in the very twist ending, and like, okay, now we're going to move on with her. That's what I feel like they were going for. So I'm glad Halloween 5 did rectify that. You do get actually Michael back, and they find a way to incorporate his death there to him like leading to floating down the river and stuff, and an even probably an even worse mask than this movie. It's up there. Uh, but other than that, I do not like Halloween 5, as I mentioned, really, but there are some good parts about it because I don't think going on with Jamie as the killer would have necessarily worked out well for the franchise. Mike would become the icon by that point. But all in all, having not known that, especially like the first time you go through and watch the franchise and you get here to 4, you've already enjoyed the movie, and then you get this added part in where you're like, oh shit, she's in a clown costume, and you realize what's happening once you get into this first person perspective, it does kind of blow your mind. So I'm sure like in 88 when this came out and people saw this twist ending, they were like, wow, they brought it back to the first one. Now there's another evil kid. They're like, is it going to jump 15 years in the future? And now it's a female Michael Myers. Like they could have been expecting anything. So I do love Halloween 4 for like its boldness, its classic scenes, and this twist, especially like when you think about it in that aspect, from that aspect, is really actually, clever. Calling it back to Halloween 1 with similar shots and everything. Like I said, this movie fan service before was a thing. I've said it like 3 or 4 times through here now, but so many times it's pops up here. You can just see them really doing a great job with the return of this franchise. It'd been, almost 10 years since, the other one, and they did a great job bringing it back. And I love Lewis's reaction here in this twist. He's like, no, not again. Not again. Oh my gosh. And the first time you see this, that blows your mind. And also his reaction, you hate the fact that he's going to kill a kid, but it's also genuine knowing what he's seen and what he's done. Now, you also love the fact that the sheriff stops her. But talk about a perfect ending, though, to a crazy film. And even like the end right there where it shows them and their reaction and everything's kind of frozen also calls back to Halloween 1 when it just kind of freezes when they find Michael outside in the yard. So I'm telling y'all, man, Halloween 4 for me, so underrated. Within the Halloween franchise, it's like an 8.59 out of 10 for me. It's up there in my franchise ranking when it comes down to it. But there it is, guys. The commentary for Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers from 1988. Like I said, one of the most underrated in the franchise and one of my favorites in the franchise there. Great fall vibes, perfect for October Horror Onslaught Month here on the channel. Hope you guys are enjoying these commentaries as much as I'm enjoying crafting them for you guys and putting them out here throughout this month. And we'll continue October Horror Onslaught Month with another Halloween commentary in the near future here on JC's Pop Culture on the YouTube side. Like I said, like the video if you watched it on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe here for future movie content, movie news, and of course, coverage on EA Sports College Football. And if you listen on the audio side, hop over to the YouTube channel, give me a subscription, and leave me a rating there on the audio side. That helps me grow the podcast side of this as well, where I'm putting out the same type of content. But appreciate you guys tuning in here for Halloween 4 commentary on October Horror Onslaught Month. Just like I appreciate you guys always tuning into these, and I will catch y'all on the next one.